after he talked, and then after you talked, did you ask him any questions?
I was making more statements than questions. And also, too, he came off mute and he started yelling and screaming while I was talking. And I said, well, go ahead and sing your mama. Because at that point,
I let y'all have that.
Point, but I was talking, though. He was not talking. I was on mute while he was talking. Download your live and look back at it.
Right.
You see, my thing was on mute.
Right. I let y'all have that. When he was, and I was like, Chief, you got to let her finish. And Chief was like, well, I'm going to drop, but you got to let her finish. Right? Fast forward to when y'all started asking him questions. I'm not talking about the part when y'all started asking him questions. That's what I'm talking about. Not when y'all was all going back and forth. Fast forward to the part when y'all start asking him specific questions about the doctor and about the paperwork. Nobody was allowing him to answer the questions that were being asked. That's what I was saying. I'm like, if y'all want the answers, y'all got to let him answer it.
Well, I don't know. I go with mutual respect. So Mafia got energy in this room with people coming at him, but he's been respectful to me. So once you come off mute and start yelling and screaming at me, I don't give a hell what you got to say after that. That's just me, though. That might not be everybody else. Respect is given. He was talking and explaining. I went on mute. Go back and look at your live. And if I'm a lie,
no, I agree with that in the beginning. I'm talking about when it got to the point of the questions. That's all I'm saying. I'm like, if y'all gonna ask people,
he didn't even let me finish.
And I said, and I said to him to let you finish. What I'm saying is this: if you want an answer, just let the people answer. That's all I'm saying. If your intention is to get an answer, all I said, I don't have a dog in this fight. Y'all can have it. But if y'all really want an answer, y'all got to let the man answer if y'all are asking him questions. When he made his statement at first and then you made your statement and he interrupted you, I told him, I said, let her finish, Chief. And Chief was like, well, I'm going to drop. Well, you still got to let her finish because she let you finish. That's exactly what I told him. But when we fast forward and y'all started to ask him questions, it was a panel of people asking him questions. But when he was answering the questions, people kept talking over him as he was answering the questions. And I'm like, well, y'all ain't gonna let him answer, so y'all ain't gonna get no answers. If y'all really want answers, y'all gotta let him answer. That way y'all could trip him up. That's all I was trying to say. And I literally said that if y'all trying to trip him up, y'all ain't gonna be able to trip him up if y'all don't let him answer the question. That's all I was saying.
Okay, so I understand what you're saying. I disagree respectfully because when I was talking, he jumped all in he came off mute, started talking all crazy, yelling and screaming and stuff. So if he didn't give me the same respect I gave him, then so be it. That's the way I look at it. So he gets no respect from me going forward. Now, if you don't want that happening on your panel, I won't come in your box.
No, but that's okay. So just say that's all you gotta say. I did when he was asking questions. I ain't give a fuck no more. That's fine. Just say that, but don't act like I'm lying though. You can always say I didn't respect after he interrupted me. I ain't give a fuck about his answers, and that's fair. That's what I'm saying. That's fair. But don't make it as if I'm lying about the asking questions part, because that's all I said is if y'all gonna ask the people questions, give them a chance to answer. Now, if you didn't want no answer, that's fine. That's fine with me, right? But I didn't lie.
Hey, that's what the comment section said. You asked me to speak to the veracity of what just happened. I explained when I was talking, when he was talking, I was on mute in the beginning. When I started talking, I waited patiently for him and everybody else. And then I came off mute and started talking. And then once I started talking, he felt so emboldened. He came off mute and started screaming and yelling. So at that point, you asking me to wait till people patiently ask him questions.
No, I don't care if y'all didn't let him answer. Only thing I said is if y'all really want the answer, let him answer. If y'all don't, go ahead and argue. I literally said that. I said if y'all want to answer, y'all gotta let him answer. If not, y'all just gonna argue. If y'all gonna argue. I don't care. I don't have a dog in the fight. That's exactly what I said. I said, if y'all trying to get answers, y'all gotta let the man answer if y'all gonna ask the questions. If not, y'all can go ahead and argue. Y'all can have it. But if y'all actually want to answer, you gotta let the man answer the question. Or don't ask him no questions. Just be up here arguing. That's all I said. If y'all gonna argue. But if y'all really want an answer, you gotta let him answer it. If not, just argue then. That's all I said. That's all I said.
Go ahead, Long Island.
Hey T, hey Babs, I wanted to ask right quick. So everybody's asking for a whole lot of information.
Why can't I finish? All right, I'm out. Thank you, T. I was trying to finish my statement.
I just have a question. Hope just give
I
me.
was trying to finish my statement.
Long Island, let her finish. Go
For
ahead.
real.
So
All right. So what I'm saying is that if there's a situation as far as any type of hospital, I don't care if you have insurance, non-insurance, or whatever the case might be, they are not supposed to threaten you as far as if you don't get this $50,000 up within this certain amount of period of time, your baby will be unalive. That is against the law. And if Chief is saying that and what he said, that is totally untrue. That's what I'm saying. Okay, and so I land my plane. And whoever in the motherfucking comments, I stay in my lane. I'm speaking my piece, and just as well as you speak your piece, I speak my motherfucking piece. All right, T, you have a good day, okay?
You too. Go ahead, cool ass.
Hey T, hey everybody. So real quick, I ain't gonna take too much of your time, T, because you are a busy woman. God. So real quick, just to trying to kind of outset this, and I don't care who knows. Everybody on this app knows my son was diagnosed with bone cancer 2 years ago. Right? We literally rushed him to the ERT. We thought it was like a minor sprain. We thought it was like a football injury, right? Because what we got was a phone call from the school saying, hey, Zayden had an injury. Lo and behold, y'all, it was a whole tumor on my son's knee. The ER doctors did nothing. They sent us straight to oncology. Within 24 hours, y'all, 24 hours, my son had a team, 2 orthopedic surgeons, and his oncology doctors. I mean, within a 24 to 48 hour period. What I came up here to say is this. My son is good. He had a 25% survival rate. He's good. Head on grew back. My son taller than me now, T. He's thick, like in 8th grade, 13 years old, just turned 13. But what I'm here to say is this. The reason why I came on your panel, T, and I know you got a lot of people in here, is because and I pray that Chief is not telling untruths, right? Because it's a lot of children out there still that is going through certain illnesses that can take them out. And one thing that helped us was Ronald McDonald House T. My son was also at Brenner's Children. We were literally living in the hospital with him. I mean, we might have had 2 or 3 days off. But what I'm saying is this is kind of dangerous because there are people out there that really does need the help. We could not work. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't do anything but stay there. But this is what I'm going to say, and then I'm going to get off your panel. I have here all of his doctor's notes. Every single one. I got a big file. But one thing I pulled out, T, was what I was asking him for, and it's literally the itemized budget. So this is what we have here. And on the side here, it has the cost of each thing. I'm not going to put it up because I didn't black out my son's information. But it literally has on the side about everything that's paid in and pay out in the procedure. So I think that's what people are looking for. And as someone that has literally been through it with their child, I pray no hospitals are doing that. I pray, but there's places like Brenner's, there's places like St. Jude's, there's places like Ronald McDonald House, and we have the same thing on the other side for adults. So it's just hard to say that someone will come in and say, if you don't pay X amount of dollars, your child would not get help, because hospitals are nonprofits. I don't know if people know that. So they write everything off. You don't have to go in debt for that. So I'm just going to leave that right there, T. Y'all do what y'all want, but my baby good. So thank y'all.
I'm glad your baby is better. I'm really happy for that.
hey
Captain,
T,
or anybody else?
real quick. Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
God bless that girl's baby, by the way. So, Babs, I wanted to ask, like, The paperwork that the young lady was just talking about is called EOBs, Explanation of Benefits. And it lists every procedure, ICD 9 or ICD 10 codes and all of that. But I don't think all of that is necessary. What about a receipt? If you paid money to a hospital, they give you a receipt. I know because I just had surgery. I have my chart. On my chart, it says surgery on such and such date on the screen. That would be simple. A receipt would be simple. Discharge papers, anything that says surgery. That's all people are really asking for, I believe, right? It's just proof of the surgery, not proof that they went to the emergency room, because we all know that she was sick and she went to the emergency room, right? So we know that already. But I think what everybody's asking for is proof of the surgery. So if we could just have anything that says surgery performed, I'm sure that would solve like all of the problems and that would be it, right?
Yes, you have a valid point. What the EOB does, because he did use insurance, it gives you the insurance breakdown too. That's why.
They didn't use any type of insurance. I thought he said he had some insurance, but not enough.
But you say some insurance, you see the keyword, so he did use insurance.
Yeah, so if you use insurance, you don't get a receipt?
Yes,
if
you do.
have to pay money?
I mean, either or. He could have just shown the receipt. He could have
Yeah,
shown.
exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. I got Obama insurance, okay? And I still got a receipt. So I know that they give you receipts. They give you paperwork that says, this is what's being done. This is how much it costs. And this is what we need. Like, that's real simple. Like, but
He could have used either or to prove his case that all these people are asking. Again, I'm not here to take up for no fucking body.
All right, I got you.
I'm
I
just
feel
asking questions.
me either. Okay, I'm out of here. Peace, y'all.
Bye-bye.
I wanted to say something because I have calmed down.
Go ahead, Kira.
To Chief, Chief didn't disrespect me on the panel. He did disrespect Copper, but he did not disrespect me. He was very polite when he responded to me. So I want to say something to him because I did come on the panel and I said, you're lying. That's wrong. I don't know if you're lying or telling the truth. What I will say is that the information that you provided to us previously and the information you're providing to us now is not adding up. And it's why people are saying, and that is why they're saying we need the itemized bill and we need proof because of what you did previously and earlier. That's number one. What I don't appreciate, and I'm just going to say this, a man called me, I don't play victim. A man called me a whore on this panel. The only person that stuck up for me was Copper. When I got on the panel to go back and forth with him, all of a sudden it was, you see, instead of pointing out the fact that he was out here been antagonizing me.
And I apologize for that, QI. I did. When she said that he called you a hoe, I checked him, dropped him, and I apologize to you. I do.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear that. Okay.
And I take accountability.
Yeah, go ahead. You can ask a question.
You said yesterday or a couple of days ago, he said the doctor was a male doctor, correct?
That's correct. He said the doctor was a male doctor, and he showed a doctor named Dr. Ahmed. Give me 1 second.
Hold on.
Yeah.
What's the last name?
Give me 1 second. I'm trying to pull it back because I had to, when I was arguing with Corey, I had pulled up the name of the NPPS NPI registry. So give me 1 second. I'm going to my history.
Can I say this while you put up the history? Hi, T.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, panel. I just want to say earlier, I agree with everything Kappa said earlier before all this other hospital stuff came up. I have no dog in none of this fight. I just want can y'all please just talk one at a time so we can hear the whole conversation, follow the story, please. And you guys don't have to argue to get your point across, because really, if he did something bad, only God can put him in heaven or hell. And it's wrong if he did something bad. And if he didn't do something bad, we don't have a place to put this man in. But it was wrong what he did to the people that gave him money. So those should be the main people that should really be mad, the ones who gave him money. I didn't give him no money, and I'm not giving nobody on here no money. I will gift you, but I'm not cash apping you. But yes, can y'all just please talk one at a time? And a lot of people, y'all need to start getting this on these apps begging. Because I'm sorry.
Hit the cash app. Hit the motherfucking cash app while you talk about your cash app.
You all
don't interrupt her, please. Please.
It's not okay. It's not okay to be up here and taking these hard-earned people money that they work hard for and try and give you and help you out. That's just my 2 points too. But please just talk one at a time. You don't have to argue and cuss each other out about somebody else's situation. Thank you, T. Bye.
Thank you.
What's going on, T?
1 second, because I just want to make sure y'all don't think I'm lying. Because 1 second.
Can you not hear me? What's good, T?
By the way, hold on. Hold on, Kira. Hold on, Kira.
Industry.
Kira, hold on. For anybody to say that she's doxing a doctor, no. Doctor's information are public information.
You cannot dox a doctor. If you have the doctor's name and NPI number, there's no such thing as called doxing a doctor. I no longer have the doctor's information. I'm so sorry. The last thing that I have on my computer is the NPI registry that I was looking up, and when I click on it, it doesn't go back to the doctor. It goes back to the original. 1 second.
Chief, the info, no, this is for a male doctor that they say that you mentioned. The doctor.
It goes back to this. It doesn't go back to the.
It has been verified. The doctor is active. This is another doctor that they say that you didn't mention.
The emergency room doctor is not going to perform that type of intricate. Babs, you know that. You know that emergency room doctor is not going to work out of the scope of their license. They are not going to mess with your heart and your lungs in the emergency room. They're going to rush you to operating. They're going to rush you to an operating room where a specialist can jump in there and do what they need to do. That's self-explanatory. They don't even have the equipment in the ED to even perform that type of surgery. So this doctor is an emergency room doctor. It doesn't say she's a cardiologist, a pulmonologist, or a surgeon. She's an emergency room doctor, clear as day.
I just want to help y'all understand something. Go ahead, Bass. My bad.
No, go ahead. Can you move your head real quick?
What y'all got to understand is emergency room doctors do also specialize in different areas within the hospital, because my grandson's neurologist also, just like the paperwork I just showed y'all, my grandson's paperwork and his neurologist went from the ER and also came to a room and to help his other doctors. So y'all got that all confused. They also do specialize in other areas. So y'all are definitely wrong.
No, sir. That's called a professional medical consult. So the handing off. Never mind. Update of what they did and what they suggest to the person, but the specialist, if a doctor or a nurse work out of the scope of their license, they are liable for malpractice. So for example, if there's a doctor that specializes in optometry, he is not going to touch your heart. If he touch your heart and you unalive, your family will sue for malpractice and they will win. That is called working out of the scope of your licensure.
I saw that on TV. Yeah, that's true.
I will say that the doctor that he does, the reason why I will say the doctor that is currently on, Dr. Kundal, she is a licensed emergency medicine doctor. She's also a pediatric doctor per her taxonomy.
He's not active as a pediatric.
No. Dr. Kendall, the one that she, yes. She is. Watch 1 second. I'm going to show you on her taxonomy. Look, it says pediatrics, emergency medicine and pediatrics right here.
On your left, move to your left. Did you say yes or no?
I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry. I didn't see that. Okay. So she specializes in emergency rooms. So that doctor is active. But there was a doctor that he said, y'all need to leave my beeper alone. I told you I'm Caribbean. We cook Caribbean food here. The doctor he's right about that. But there's a doctor, I wish I could find it. I wish I wasn't arguing back and forth with Corey. He provided a doctor, Dr. Admed, which was a male doctor, and that doctor was retired. So that's why I said, okay, wait, this is not making sense to us. So how am I strong and wrong when it's, if I'm wrong about something, I can say, yes, that's correct. I'm wrong about this. But again, I don't know. Y'all want to.
You won't go try. Don't worry about that.
I guess people are upset because I guess, y'all don't like me for whatever reason. But
it's an accident. You looked up something. You looked up the other person. It's all good. At the end of the day, we still prove all the other stuff. All this man got to show is that he dumped $50,000 cash on the child's bill. That's it. And that'll make me and at least 500 people go away. Now, that's a lot to ask for somebody. So, you know what? At the end of the day, hey, y'all, if y'all believe y'all gave and he needed it and everything happened, then you kudos to y'all. And I like y'all. So do y'all thing. QI, man, don't stress over this. It ain't worth the wrinkles. It ain't worth the stress.
Hi, everybody. Can I say something real quick, please? I have worked in the hospital. I have emergency medical license. I've been listening to a lot of you guys' stories. Some of you are correct and some of you are incorrect. If you take I'm going to stick to the children. If you take a child to the emergency room and you place in United States, I'm not saying out of the United States because I've traveled all around the world. When you take a child into the emergency room, if that child does not have insurance, they do not deny services. Once that child go in, I heard a little bit of what he was saying. To me, the child was sepsis. Looked like they caused a respiratory viruses. It was not treated in time. It became sepsis in the blood. I've never heard any hospital, nowhere in this country, I'm talking about the United States, deny service because you don't have any money. They will bill you. They have services in the hospital that will even give funding to help pay. The government gives it's like a grant they give to the hospital. If you are a United States citizen, you will qualify for it, especially children. That's the number one priority. The emergency room physician, they do stabilization. If surgery is required and they can stabilize you, they will do it in the emergency room. If it's more in depth, they will still stabilize you till they can get a physician in there who is licensed and qualified through that group. That's called a specialist who specializes in
and don't
that
some
group.
hospitals have like medical grants you can apply for?
Yes, ma'am. Every hospital in United States, once the government has put that into effect, everyone was given grants to qualify people who have low income. And the reason why I'm going back to children again, they will not deny no child for no funding. So
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Please, please finish. I didn't mean to cut you off. I thought you was done.
Thank you.
To her, it was funded through the states. Every hospital have funding. So I had at one time my daughter, she became sepsis because when children, when they are young and they have diarrhea and then they sit in their diapers for so long and some of these daycares don't clean them properly, the infections go into the urethra. It went into her urethra. I called her physician because she was running a fever. The physician told me, right? Specialized pediatric physician. The physician told me, say, oh, it's a virus, give her 3 days. Me working in the medical field, I say, I'm not going to give it 3 days, right? Because I knew she was not doing well. I can watch and see that. I rushed her to the emergency room. They went ahead and they started to do testing. They drew the urine and then the urine came back. It had a lot of white blood cell in the urine. So we knew right away that she was sepsis. They rushed her up to ICU. She was in ICU for almost 1 month. 1 month on the treatment. No specialist needed to come in. It was just emergency medical doctors. No specialist needed to come in. They treat and they stabilize and they released her. So like I'm saying, when it comes to children, there is no denying service. There's no denying service. So I don't know. I'm not saying he's lying. I'm not going to say that because he has a child and I understand the frustration he went through. But if you're on this site and you're collecting money, you guys be careful who you give your money to. You understand? If they have a cash app and they wanted these medical funds, okay, you can request from Cash App, even TikTok, to go after them and tell them show proof of what this funds is being paid for. You understand? There's an itemized bill. Every patient get it. If you have insurance and if you don't have insurance, you get an itemized bill from the hospital, the physician telling you everything that was done. If they use even a cotton swab on you, That's on the itemized bill. If you pay a portion from, because some of you guys have deductibles. Let's say your deductible is $1,000 and you have insurance. It will show on your itemized bill how much your insurance paid and how much you paid. There is no hidden agendas to those itemized bills. It shows every amount. So I'm kind of confused on some of these statements that's going around. But I'm going to go back. Because
don't leave.
I'm sorry. I'm going to go back and I'm going to say it again. No hospital will deny no one, not in this country. Yeah, if you go to Europe, yeah. If you go to China, yes, they will deny you. You will die on the street right in front of the hospital, but not here in the United States. They will not turn you around if you do not have medical insurance. You will get a bill. There are fundings. They're willing to work with you because guess what? They got government funding for free to help those in need. Thank you.
Okay, the question I have for you, you don't have to say, but do you have you said you're an emergency room doctor, Miss Trisha?
I am not an emergency room doctor. I am an EMT paramedic nurse. I got my license in emergency medical technicians. I brought the dead back to life. I've done surgery in the ER as a technician based off of your experience.
Okay, so you're a nurse. Okay, so if I am going into surgery and I need a nurse anesthesiologist, can you come in there and do that?
It's depending on my training. In most circumstances, if it's an emergency and they don't have one on staff, I will have to go in, yes.
Okay, so if they don't have a nurse anesthesiologist in there, okay, if I need an anesthesiologist, do you qualify to do that?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and why don't you qualify to do that?
Because I never did the extensive training. I don't have a license to do that.
Because you're working out of the scope of your license. Okay, so essentially...
Why it's different for cosmetic surgery?
Hold on, Trina, please let me finish. So essentially, most professionals like yourself that have a license on the line, you're going to stay within the scope of your practice is what I'm coming to understand that's called, correct?
Yes, if it's emergency medicine, I can step over that.
Okay. But if it's a scheduled surgery, you can't go in and perform my heart surgery, can you? If it's scheduled and there are available licensed people in that area to do it.
I cannot.
Okay. I just want to ask somebody that had a professional. Okay, Tina.
Oh yeah, no, I was just asking because I have heard of that you can't operate outside of your scope, but then for cosmetic surgery it's different. So I was just wondering.
Well, liability insurance won't cover them, so a lot of doctors know a lot about the whole body. But what happens is if they make a mistake, nick something, break something, mess something up, and they working out of the scope for which they told that insurance, that malpractice insurance that they were going to be doing with their licensure and certifications, then they kind of on their own and they liable. And the hospital is not going to let them work out of their scope except for in an emergency situation like what we seen with COVID. We seen surgeons messing with people that wouldn't be doing rounds on the floor because it was so... everybody was needed everywhere, but that was an emergency situation.
Hey, let me ask you a question, because somebody said something about them being indigent. If a parent makes too much, if their financial status is too much, do their child qualify for all these programs? And if they need a medical emergency surgery, whatever the case may be, how long does it normally take? Because you got to fill out papers and apply for emergency assistance.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
I'm not asking you. I'm asking the person that came up here with all this information. I didn't ask you.
But what I'm saying, it doesn't matter. We're talking about a child who needs life-saving services. It does not matter what type of insurance, if you got Medicaid or private. If you don't have money up front, they're still going to perform those services. It doesn't matter.
I want to hear what she's saying. I want to hear what she was saying.
I don't want to hear it because I asked the question to somebody else and she butted in.
Well, they
I
didn't
didn't ask the question to
respond. You
her.
can't.
So
You don't.
can I
They didn't
play? Hold
respond.
on. Why when I ask a question, everybody want to jump in and answer?
Well,
When
you
I'm asking
answered
a
my
question,
question earlier,
whoa.
Corey,
Time
and I
out.
wasn't talking to
I'm
you, and you answered my
talking.
question,
Why is
and
you
I was
quiet?
not
Why is you
talking to
cutting me
you.
off?
Did you let her
Wasn't
answer?
no
Did you let her
opportunity.
answer the question? Okay,
No,
so
wasn't
Do it all the
Carla, did
time,
you allow her to
Corey.
answer
So
the
no,
question?
you
I
can't do
didn't
that.
ask her the
All the
question though.
time.
Who did you ask the
I
question?
don't want your answer.
You
I
answer
don't want
questions
her.
But
when
you
you
can't.
get
Okay, wait.
The question is not
Hold
up
on,
here.
wait. If
Let
you
her
ask the question, you
respond.
can't dictate who's gonna answer the question. Let the person
But
answer
I
the
was
question.
asking
I
it to a
wanted to hear what
specific
Right, but
Keisha
person.
let
She was
whoever, let
answering
everybody answer. Let
but
everybody
she
answer
was
the question.
answering
Be
questions.
quiet,
Carla,
Corey.
it
You
don't
answer
matter. I
questions all
got
the
it,
time.
Trina.
Nobody
Trina,
was
I got
asking you.
this.
She came up here with expertise on certain things about what the ER and all
Okay,
that
is she
does.
here?
Right there in the
I want
bottom
to hear
under
what Keisha
Babs.
said,
The
please.
one under
Okay,
Babs. Cause she
okay,
the one that was talking.
Okay.
okay. So
All right. Okay. Let him answer. I'm a person. I don't like to listen to arguments. So can he go ahead and
No,
ask me
don't
so I
say
can
that.
answer his question, please?
I ask you, if a parent makes too much, how can a child qualify? Because people up here saying you can apply for indigent, which they don't understand. That means you don't have nothing. You don't make enough to meet the requirements to pay and stuff. But if a parent has full insurance on a child, but the insurance doesn't cover the whole scope of the procedure, and stuff like that. These programs, a lot of them, I haven't applied for none. But which programs could a parent apply for when they do have funds, when they do have insurance, but they don't have full funds? Which program could they apply for to get the emergency funds if they child need a procedure within the next 24 hours?
Okay. You can apply for. I don't know. You got to ask around your state because there's different programs in different states. There's something called Kid Care. Have you ever heard of Kid Care?
That's mostly Medicaid bull.
No.
it's still
No.
an insurance
No.
though.
It's insurance. If you don't qualify, if your income is too much, you can apply for Kid Care. Now, let's say for instance, you apply for Kid Care and you have a secondary. Most people who have I would say a big income that's pretty rich, they don't have just one insurance for their kid. They apply for Kid Care too. Kid Care covers up to 3 months. You have up to 3 months to get all your medical bills covered. So if the child is due for emergency services, that does not stop the services. We know in the hospital that the insurance will cover up to 3 months. If they had surgery 2 months ago and you had a bill from 2 months ago and you qualify for Kid Care, they will definitely pay for the whole procedure.
Stop. Chief, did you have a deductible?
Babs, you deep, my brother.
I have a question for Babs because I don't know if I'm just going to ask everybody that works in that field. Usually when they're doing surgery, don't they usually, and especially if you're working with sterilization anesthesia, don't they get a consent for sterilization? That's number one. And number two, doesn't the surgery scheduler and the case manager usually work together if it's an emergency surgery that's happening?
Yes, they work. Yes, they do. They work together, but they will not stop the procedure if it's emergency just for insurance.
That's correct. That's correct. I do medical billing, and I can assure you that they're not. If it's life saving, they're not asking for money up front. The indigent care and all of those services can be implemented after the fact, after the services have been rendered. That is not something that they're going to try to get it while they're going through it. But if the child needs life-saving services, they're going to provide those services. You worry about the bill after the fact because they're not billing before the services. If it's life-saving, they're billing afterwards, after all the services are completed.
Correct.
You only worry about upfront costs when you have a scheduled procedure. That is when you most of the time pay for services upfront.
Correct. And usually after surgery, don't you guys usually do like a following plan? Like you have to do an inpatient visit with the doctor of said diagnosis?
Is Keith still here?
Yes, we do a follow up.
I think he was down there in the comments.
We do a follow up with the parents. We do a follow up with the doctors, everybody that was involved with that child procedure.
Okay, so again, guys, I don't have a degree. I don't have nothing. I'm just a bum laying on the streets of Miami. I didn't get 2 degrees for no reason. I'm just nothing. So I just wanted to ask those questions because, again, the things are not making sense. But I'm going to drop. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, QI. And again, I apologize.
Yeah. See, how you doing?
Hey, Shay.
Hey, Shay.
Hey, you guys. I just wanted to say, Michael, sit down. I was following the story. I don't know all the intricacies. I just want to say, as a mom who had a daughter who had meningitis in her brain, spinal cord, blood, and urine, and had 3 spinal taps, and was